Every other YouTube video these days seems to be telling you to start a YouTube channel, but there's one problem. They don't tell you how difficult that actually is and how much that goes into it. So for the next 30 days, I'm going to make one video every single day, scripted, recorded, edited, and published, and with a thumbnail. It's a ridiculous amount of work. I did my first one yesterday. It took me almost 10 hours to do all of that. And there's one thing that you should know is that I'm just learning how to edit videos. I've only edited in Final Cut Pro ever, and I've only done 2 full-length videos. Here are my ridiculous notes. All of those people who are like, just start YouTube, but they're not telling you how incredibly difficult it is. So follow for the next 30 days and let's see how this goes. 30 YouTube videos in 30 days. Let's give this a try. 30 days. You'll see in the next couple of clips that I'm wearing a different kind of shirt because I actually tried to start this a few days ago and I failed on the second day. It's unbelievable. So you're not alone if it's hard to be consistent, but just 30 days. It's so difficult because I failed on day 2. That's embarrassing to admit, but it's so true. This is me starting again, just to show you what consistency looks like. This is the time. It's going to stick. This is the truth of what consistency really looks like. And I'm going to add bloopers at the end of this and just everything that goes with it so you can see the whole journey, right? Because so often we see final videos. We just see the final cuts, the final edits. Hopefully that helps to inspire, again, anyone out there who just wants to start and is struggling to get going or wants the perfect video and wants the perfect edit and wants it to look great. It won't look great, and you might not be as consistent as you want to be, but the point is to start again and to try again if it's something that you really care about and something you want to do. But I wanted to try something different today, and I wanted to show you my process of learning. The key element here is I just went into Final Cut Pro, I put in a junky video I just recorded walking around, nothing, and some audio, things like that. And then I just started clicking around on buttons. With the scripting, I just do everything in Notion very quickly. My process is quite simple. I read a lot of books, so I take a lot of notes, so I take a lot of ideas from there. But if you don't think you have any ideas, you do. I promise. You have something you like to talk about. It's just your mind is stopping you and telling you that you don't think it's important or that other people won't like it or they'll laugh at you or they'll think it's embarrassing. You have something to talk about. You know that. Then the next thing is recording it. I'm just using the DJI Osmo Action 4. I got it last year when I went traveling in South America, and it's been my main camera since. I know it's not like one super fancy setup, and I got the wireless mic that went with it. I see all these creators online selling or talking about these amazing cameras and amazing setups, and I can vouch for the fact that you really don't need anything. I also use my Samsung phone for taking some vertical videos, so it's really quite simple. You don't need a good setup. Of course it helps, and if you have one, great. If you don't worry about it. It really is just about turning on the camera and starting. You need to be able to play around with things in a way that you can't make any mistake. The problem is people watch videos and they learn all this information, but then they don't actually go and use that. And I find a good way for using something like this is to use it simultaneously. Watch the videos and use it at the same time so you're getting that motor function of actually clicking around. Here's kind of a script outline. Again, I had the bullet points, but I didn't really read from them. I just read some of the quotes. So that's what it looks like, and I do all of the stuff in Notion. Even for this video, I didn't have any notes because I wanted it to come off. I wanted it to just be honest and authentic because this is just what the process looks like. So I keep it in a little database in Notion, and I've got a little control center here with book summaries and life plans and all of those things. But also I wanted to show you this. So when I started recording, I tried the other day and it was all a mess and I couldn't get the screen to work and I kind of gave up on it. And I think that was one of the issues. Is especially when you're learning something new and you run into an issue, it's so easy to just give up and quit. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll get back to it later. And I didn't. So it took a couple days. I'm doing it now. But again, just sharing the complete, authentic version of what this looks like. So for making thumbnails and everything else really is I use Canva. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by any of these things or people or products, but
This one is truly amazing, and the more I use it, the more I figure out. As you can tell, my thumbnails aren't great, but I'm learning and trying to get a little bit better. I thought some of them were pretty good, but then they turned out to not work. I don't really know what works yet, but it's a nice way to learn. You can get B-roll off of here, so there's some B-roll and things like that. AI, you can get AI-generated images, AI-generated video on this. I can't believe how truly amazing this is, Canva.
The whole idea of this is just to inspire anybody out there who's thinking about doing it, is that all the advice out there is commonplace to do one video a week and make this script and use this app and maybe try this camera or just start recording and just start posting, but no one's actually starting from the beginning, which I think is a huge hassle because, as anyone knows, when you get good or decent at something, you forget what it's like to start at the beginning. I don't care who you are, right? If you say you're like, oh, I'm trying to remember what it was like when I started and giving advice, you can't. It's really difficult to take advice from somebody who's already done it because they just can't get back to the beginning. So here it is. The beginner process. 2 videos edited in Final Cut Pro, learned it a few weeks ago, just figured it out. And that's it. And then this is going to be 30 days. Failed on day number 2. Honest truth. And it's been like 3 days. So I was like, I'm going to start again after day number 2. Couldn't on day number 3. Then day number 4. This is like day number 6. So it's day number 1 now because I've got to restart the clock again. But my point is I failed and I'm just going to keep doing it. So you get to see what the process really looks like. It's messy. It's weird. It's difficult. And yeah, let's kind of see how this one goes. You have to find what works for you. And I think today, truly, I really believe in this, is that the best way to learn something is what I call sprints. There's no better skill than being able to go all in and learn quickly. So no more dabbling around, right? Like a lot of advice on YouTube from YouTubers is that you should make a video a week. And that makes sense for somebody who is just making it a hobby or doesn't really care about learning about it. It's this idea of a YouTuber telling you what a YouTuber should do. But I'm assuming that you've never done this before. If you're watching this like I haven't, we're kind of new to this. And the best way to learn this is just go all in for 30 days. Because if you do just like a week here and a week there and a week there, that's 52 videos in an entire year. In 1 month, I'm going to make 30, more than half of that, right? So I think you can condense this timeline down into almost no time at all. And 30 days, that's it. You go in when you're done with work and you just start clicking around, making videos. You learn how to publish. You go on Canva, find what works for you, find what's easy. And like I said, these 30-day sprints, and you just pick a thing. What if you wanted to write, right? I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, oh, I really wanted to write a book. And I was like, you know, what's stopping you? And they're like, someday. And someday means never, right? And I learned this because this is what I went through. For so long, I was the someday guy all of the time. After this is over, you pick another 30 days where you go all in on something. Unless you really, really love it and you get the skills and you get in this flow and you love it after 30 days, keep going. But I think more important than anything today is to stop listening to people who are just like, yeah, okay, start a YouTube channel, make content. It can change your life. If you make a video every day, your whole life is going to change. Oh, make content and you'll never have to think about money again, or like, now's the time. And pick it if you want to do it. But instead of thinking about it, set a time limit. Maybe 2 weeks you have to learn how to use a program and to post 10 videos. But you have to do that in 2 weeks, right? Start setting that time frame so it's short. That's 10 videos. That's so many videos. If you really, really think about it, you can learn so much already in just 2 videos. I've learned an incredible amount about editing, different angles, some lighting, which is terrible. I don't really know how to do that. The important part in the beginning is not to do 1 video every single week. It's about to do it as fast and condensed as possible so you can figure out who you are, what you like, what your voice is, what you're going to talk about. All of these things, the foundation and the fundamentals that emerge from doing things quickly when you really can't think about it too much is far superior to take your time, learn how to edit, make a nice video, learn how to make a thumbnail. I completely disagree with that approach, truly. Because that's why, again, this isn't about going viral or making a ton of money off YouTube. It's about learning. And today, as fast as everything's going, you have to go all in quickly,
or things go way, way too fast. You can't just dabble anymore. You can't just be like, oh, I'll do a little bit of this, you know, here, or maybe this on the weekend, or this, because things are going to go so quickly. And I did this with ChatGTP and AI, and I kind of put it off on the side for a while until recently when I got back into it, and I was like, it is skyrocketed. It's flying in time. And you just have to go all in on these things, right? And I love this also with this YouTube endeavor, is that now that I'm doing this and with the script writing, I get to include AI as well to kind of help me formulate things, ask questions, learn how to prompt. So you start combining these different little features. And like I said, with Canva as well, learning how to use Canva and create thumbnails, and learning how to edit in Final Cut Pro, and learning how to use AI and all of these different little features. But it comes together in a short, fast, superior, focused sprint. So the reason why I wanted to do one video every 30 days is because it's difficult. By doing 30 days in a row is to make it simple so it's not complicated. For the next 30 days in a row, I'm going to make one YouTube video every single day and edit it and post it and maybe even make a short. And why am I doing this? Forgot to turn on a light I have. Doesn't even work already. Just got this thing. Holy. Oh, maybe I have to charge it. Yep, think you have to charge these things. I'm gonna go do that right now. Well, that's embarrassing, but also perfect, because that shows you just how much I know about what I'm doing. I didn't even know how to charge my light. I actually don't know how to do like a screen recording with my like face in the bottom yet. How do you do that? I have no idea, but I do want to try that. So let's see if we can make that work. Cool. So this is the first thing to kind of share with you guys. I actually have no idea if this works, but I recently just learned how to use OBS, which is a free open source software. Okay, so you see some of these creators talking about this. What I recorded the other day before I failed at doing this. I hope this works on OBS. I tried to record some of it already. As you can tell, it only looks like it's on the front part. I was not able to figure out the whole screen correctly. That if I can do it, you can do it, and we can learn together. And I'm actually going to stop this and just make sure it's working. That looks a little bit better. Did it actually work? But now I'm not even in the... Hey, okay, I'm in there. Did I just move that? Okay, let's see if this actually works this time. What a hassle that was. Pick one thing and just go all in. I was so sick of people saying like, oh, one thing for the rest of your life, or find this life task or your purpose. And there's just so many different things. Find what you're curious about. I was so curious about Final Cut Pro. It was just on my list. It was just something I wanted to learn how to do. And then I just went all in, finally decided these 30 days, I'm just gonna make a video, and that would be the best way to learn it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't, and I drop it. And it doesn't matter, but I've learned valuable skills along the way. So I've been confused trying to figure this stuff out, and hopefully this helps you. Maybe it inspires you to start doing this and see that you don't have to be really far ahead, and it really only takes a couple days to change your life. And by that, I mean by learning something. Really. You're not just going to change your life overnight and make a video and go viral. Maybe you are, probably not. But the idea is you can change your life by learning something. And then once you learn that, you're like, oh, wow, I can't believe I just did that. Like I wrote that in my journal here. It's like, wow, I can't believe I learned how to do Final Cut Pro. It was so difficult and so daunting for so long for me, because I had no idea how to do that. I'm 42, no clue. Or 41. I'm 41 and I had no clue what to do. But that's the thing. You can learn so quickly. And once you learn one thing, you can just move that over to another thing. And that will end a lot of your confusion, because action is the antidote.